Hey everybody, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Nightmare Productions. Nightmare Productions is a game published by Trick or Treat Studios, designed by the great Dr. Reiner Knizia. Plays 2 to 5 players in about 60 minutes, ages 14 and up. Now, this game is an auction game about trying to make movies. And you're going to be doing that by getting these little tiles to put them in certain locations on your movies to try to get the highest rated movie and earn other points along the way. This game has been reprinted a pile of times. We've covered it on the channel previously under Hollywood Blockbuster, which I'll link in this video if you want to check out the difference, which is mostly just art. We'll get back to that. But yeah, this game's been around for a long time. This is the newest production with a cool horror theme pasted on, and horror movies and all that kind of stuff, because the company's called Trick or Treat Studios, so what do you expect? So that's enough talking about it, a little bit of the overview. Well, not really, but we'll get back to it later. So let's just go on to the table. Check it out. All right, so here's the game of Nightmare Productions, all set up for 3 players. Now, each player is going to get a studio and a player screen. So I have Monster Productions here, which would normally go like this to cover the people's money, but I don't have room for that, so just know you would have this to hide your money. But I'm going to set this off to the side. So you're going to get 3 screenplays of your company. They're each going to have a cool movie name. So I'm going to be Nightmare Productions. And I have The Image of Death, The Devil's Work, and The Dead Are Among Us. They all have their names as well, but I have them kind of tucked up so you can see them a little bit better. And in a 3-player game, each player will get $12 million. I have these 2 players off the board. And then you're going to set up the board accordingly. You're going to have all the first movie awards, all the movie of the years, all the best movie, best casting, and worst movie awards. Have the legendary creatures here, which I've done. And they're going to be on their own space. And then you're going to randomly draw tiles based on the number here, put face up from the rest of the tiles. So we'll have 3, 2, 3, 2, 2. And then on the horror con, there's 1 face down per player, and we'll get into those. All right. And I have given myself the first player marker, and we're ready to go. So this is an auction game where we are trying to auction for characters and music and settings and all that kind of stuff for our movies. Okay. And I'll explain that as we go. So let's just go ahead and get it started. So first thing that happens is we're going to bid on this legendary creature here. Starting with the first player, you can bid any amount you want, and then you're going to go around until everybody's passed except one person. They will spend their money, and they'll take this character and put it in one of their movies. I'm going to go ahead and start. I'll bid 3. And again, no one's going to know how much money I have because it's going to be behind the screen. Then we'll go to this player. They'll do 4. This player will pass. Back to me. I'll let them have it for 4. So they'll spend 4 million. Goes on this space here. And they can put this in any of the spaces. It's got a little slash. Any of the spaces on their movie that has a slash. And I think they're going to try to go for a big dog movie. So let's go there. And now the money that was spent gets divvied up evenly amongst the other players. So this player will get 2 and I will get 2 million. If there was an odd number, it would stay on the board and it would get added to the next auction. Now, this player won the auction, so they become the first player. Okay, so they're going to bid on these 3. I think they're going to say 4. I'm going to go to the next player. They'll say 5. I'm going to say 6. They'll pass, so I'll get it for 6. All right, so I'll put these, I take these tiles, I get all the tiles, and I get to put these into movies. Any one movie or across all my movies if I want to. So let's go. Put a butcher knife there, director here, and music composer right there. All right, then we'll divvy up the money. 3 million to this player, 3 million to this player, and then we'll go to this one, and it's my bid. I will do, I'll do 2. They'll pass. They'll say 3. I'll say 4. They're pass. They'll go 5. I pass. So they'll say 5. All right, so this is a guest star, a guest monster. They can only go in the spaces on your board that have a little hand, and they're going to help you get stars. So let's just go ahead and we'll put this monster here because they're going to try to make a crappy movie. And then I want to put hide on that one. All right, and then there's 7 million, so each are, that's 5. So each player is going to get 2. And then we'll go to here. Now, HorrorCon. When you get to these, you flip over the tiles. Contractors are wild. They can go anywhere on your board except for guest stars. And you're going to look at the number of creatures that everyone has and guest stars, and whoever has the most number gets first pick. So I have 0. They have 2. They have 1. So this player will get first pick. They'll take the contract, and they will put it right there. They'll get the next one. They're going to take some music, put it right there. And then I get this graveyard. I'll put it in my terrible movie right there. All right. Back to this. They're still first player. So they're going to bid 3. I'll bid 4. 5, pass. I'll do 6. They'll pass, so I'll get it for 6. This one adds to it. All right, and I get all these. I'm going to put this director right. Oh, man, it's a bad director. All right. We got a monster. And I'll put this contract. Let's go there. All right. Now I'm first. I get we got to divvy up money. Each player will get 3. We'll leave this one there. All right, it's my bid. I'll bid 1. They'll do 2. They'll do 3. I'll pass. They'll do 4. They pass, so they'll get it for 4. So they get a weapon. Let's go ahead and put that weapon right there, and I'll put a building right there. Okay, and then we each get 2 mil. And then their first bid again. They're going to pass on that. This player will bid 3. I'll pass. No, I'll say 4. So they'll go 5. They'll take both of these. And then we'll put that guest star there. The director here. And then we'll each get 3 mil. Then we're back to HorrorCon. And the most creatures, I have 1. They have 3. They have 1, so they get first pick. And then it'll be me, then them. And they're going to take this one. Put it there. I'm going to take this one. No, I can't take that one. Take that one. And then they'll get this one, and they'll put it right there. All right, and that is the end of the round. So what happens here is, if anybody has completed a movie, we will award Best Movie. There's not a completed movie yet, so no one gets Best Movie. To score Best Movie, you're going to look at all your stars. So if this one was full, it would be 2, 3, 4 stars. I would have a completed movie. And you would also take a rating chip, which is the points that it's worth, and put it on your movie. Okay. Then when all that's done, you're going to set up again for the next round. You will flip another legendary monster, fill all these up, keep going again until you played through 4 rounds. At the end of the 4th round, you will award once somebody makes a movie of every color. So once whoever makes the first purple movie will get this, green and red, so on. And then highest starred movie, highest rated movie of each color will score. Best casting, which means the most stars in creatures and guest stars gets that. And worst movie, lowest rating, gets that. And you get 1 point per money. And whoever has the most points after all that is the winner. That's how you play Nightmare Productions. Let's go to the top, see what we think about it. All right, well, that was Nightmare Productions. So let's look at some of the components. Really nice rule book. It's actually better than the Hollywood Blockbuster one because that one like opens all weird. This is a standard rule book, shaped like a book. It's not square. Tells you what's going on in here. Really nice. The trophies are still standees, just like in my other version. Cardboard standees with cool art. They're in color, so you can kind of match them to the appropriate movie color. Player screens are really nice. They're basically just used to hide your money, but you know they match the name of the studio. They have colors, a little bit of what's going on in the game behind it, so you can kind of see what's going on. Really nice money tokens. They're $1 million, but basically when you're bidding, you're saying 1, 2, whatever. Nice money tokens. Really nice tiles here. This is the biggest difference across Hollywood Blockbuster and this one is the characters and the board. The board art on this one's a little smoother. Actually has place on the board to put the trophies. Mine doesn't have that. But yeah, these are just director. Wood axe. The stars of the movies are the creatures. Abomination. In Hollywood Blockbuster, it's like Steven Spielberg and Jim Scarry. So you know who the characters are supposed to be, but they're like spoof names and like caricature art. I like that theme. It's fine, but this is more because it's just like horror movies. You can do like weapons and locations, and who cares who the director is? All you're caring about is the monster that's in your movie, that kind of thing. So all the art is nice. I kind of like the re-theme, the horror theme. Gets rid of the spoof thing if you're into that. But the gameplay is effectively the same as Hollywood Blockbuster or any of the other editions. It's just a horror theme now, and it's back in print. That's the big pro of this, is now it's available. Great Reiner Knizia game that was hard to find other than like used and all that kind of thing, but now it's in stock. You can get it. Has a really nice theme, has a fantastic board, good look, bright colors. Even if you're not into the horror movies, which I'm not a ton into horror movies, I like some of the older ones like Boris Karloff and Vincent Price and all that kind of stuff, but new ones not so much. But this is like the Universal Monster theme. You got zombies, you got mummies, werewolves, all that kind of thing, and you're just trying to make movies, bidding on chits, taking some chits, putting them on your card, making movies. That's it. Fantastic game. I liked Hollywood Blockbuster. I like this. I don't know which one I like better, honestly. This art may be a little better, but I'm always a fan of the old and busted. So I really do like Hollywood Blockbuster, and that box is awful. And that draws me in. So yeah. Either way, if you can find any edition of this, Trom Fabric, Dream Factory, Hollywood Blockbuster, any of the billions of other names that this game has had, and you find it for cheap, pick that up. Or, better yet, grab this one because it's solid. So I'm going to give this a BGM Accept the CL. This is going to get an 8 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4 out of 5 wrenches on an arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing, but we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Nightmare Productions from Trick or Treat Studios. I'm Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.